The last time I stepped into my parents' house, it still smelled of lemon polish and old furnace air. My mother, Salma Khan, used to scrub the baseboards every Saturday, even when her hands had turned brittle. She believed dust made a house look unloved. She had been gone for 4 days. The funeral was small, just close family, and one neighbor who left behind a lemon pound cake no one touched. I stayed at a cheap inn, 2 miles from the home I grew up in. I hadn't asked to stay with my family. I hadn't been invited. That morning, I came to help sort through her belongings. My father, Haris Khan, sat in his recliner, a flyer for window replacements in his lap. Windows he would never buy. He nodded at me but didn't speak. My sister, Nida Farouk, already had her arms elbow-deep in drawers in Mom's bedroom. Without looking back, she said, "She had a blue purse. You know the one. Always under the dresser. It's gone." I froze. I remembered that purse, navy leather, softened by years. Mother used to clutch it as though it held something irreplaceable. Father spoke next, eyes still on the flyer. "You had the back door key last month when you took her to the eye doctor." "I gave it back," I replied quietly. Nita straightened, her face unreadable. "She trusted you. That's fine. But if you came after the funeral home took her, and something happened, it's better to admit now." I looked from her to Dad. He closed the pamphlet. "I'm not accusing," he said flatly. "But she told your sister she kept her jewelry there. Sentimental pieces. For safekeeping." The silence thickened. "I didn't take it," I said.
In the guest room, she set her laptop on the bed and began typing. Passwords. Security codes. Transfers. In less than 15 minutes, every dollar and asset in her name had been moved to an account none of them knew existed. They thought she would stay frozen in that hallway, too stunned to act. But Sarah had been expecting this. She had seen the signs. Being left out of family plans, cropped out of photographs, never receiving estate paperwork she should have seen. And she had something they didn't know about. Something Zara Begum, her grandmother, had left behind. Sarah pulled open the dresser drawer. Beneath scarves and old photographs lay a folded slip of paper in Zara's handwriting. On it was Sarah's name. A small key was taped to the back. It fit perfectly into the lock of Zara's old sewing desk. Inside were 3 things.
The first, a legal envelope stamped with a notary seal. Amendment to last will and testament. Every page carried Sarah's name, and only hers. The second, a small voice recorder. She pressed play. Zara's voice, frail but steady, filled the room. "If they try to twist this, Sarah, you show them this tape. I trust you. Only you." The third, a handwritten note in Zara's sharp, angular script. "Blood doesn't make them worthy. If you're reading this, they've already turned on you. Take what's yours. Don't look back." Sarah sat back, staring at the words until they blurred. Not from tears, but from clarity. Zara had known all along. The next morning, the kitchen smelled of coffee and oatmeal. Cameron sat at the table with spreadsheets, glasses slipping down his nose. Nadia stirred a pot, humming as though it was any ordinary morning. Mahira perched at the counter with her mug, legs crossed, smug and composed. None of them looked up when Sarah entered. She placed a manila envelope between the croissants and the papers. Mahira was the first to notice. Her eyes narrowed. "What's this?" "Another attempt to make yourself relevant." Sarah said nothing. She opened the envelope, unfolded the documents, and placed them neatly in the center of the table.
Signed.
Witnessed. Notarized. 1 month before Zara Begum passed, the room fell still. Cameron's knuckles whitened around his chair. Nadia's humming stopped. Mahira reached for the papers, but Sarah blocked her hand. "Don't," she said, voice low. "You knew what you were doing. You don't get to act surprised now." Then she pressed play. Zara's voice rose into the quiet kitchen. "If they try to twist this, Sarah, you show them this tape. I trust you. Only you." The silence that followed was the kind that rips the roof off a lie. Sarah slid another envelope across the counter. "Filed this morning. An injunction. The estate is frozen until review." Cameron's face darkened. You're dismantling this family. 2 days later, I mailed a padded envelope. Inside, a copy of Mother's note. A still photo from the video, Nita holding the purse open. A single handwritten line. This was never about the purse. That evening, an email from Nita arrived. No subject line. Only 4 words. You win. Enjoy what's left.
No e paledi. No dinaiel.
Father never wrote it all. 6 months later, I flew back to Ohio, just for a day. At the cemetery, I knelt by my mother's grave. Salma Khan, 1941 to 2023. Beloved mother. Quiet strength. I laid yellow freesias. She never liked roses. From my coat, I placed the flash drive at the base of a stone, wrapped in soft cloth. You were right to be afraid, I whispered. A few rows away, the stone already bore Father's name. Reserved. Waiting. I didn't stop by the house. I didn't need to. Back home in Arizona, I opened the laptop one last time. Not in anger, not in grief, just to close an ache. A clip I hadn't watched before. 3 days before she died. Mom brushing her hair at her vanity, morning light spilling in. She didn't know the audio was on. But then, softly, she said, "Sarah, I hope this camera makes you feel better too. I'm sorry your sister makes you feel small. You were always the one who saw me." I closed the laptop carefully this time. Sometimes survival isn't justice. It isn't reunion. It's leaving the room before the silence becomes permanent.